The wrong haircut can make you look older, while the right one can instantly make you look fresher, softer, and more elegant. In this video, we're going through 5 haircut mistakes women over 60 should avoid, and the timeless styles that create a more youthful look. Watch until the end, because each one could completely change the way you look. Make sure you stay until the end, because haircut number 4 is one of the biggest mistakes many women still make today. Hello again, beautiful. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I am always so happy when you choose to spend this time with me. And if this is your very first video with us, welcome to Ageless Style Secrets, where we talk honestly about what actually works after 60, no fluff, no filters, just real advice that helps you feel confident in your own skin. Today's topic is a big one, because hair frames everything. It frames your face, it sets the tone for your whole appearance, and unfortunately, a few very common choices can work against you without you even realizing it. Before we get into this, if you are new here, please consider subscribing. It is free, it takes 2 seconds, and it means you will catch every video the moment we release it. And if you have ever wondered whether your current haircut is helping or hurting you, give this video a like, because trust me, by the end you are going to want to come back and watch it again. Alright, let's get into these 5 haircuts. Before we name them, I want you to understand the one rule that connects every single haircut on this list. It is not about being too short or too long. It is about something called face weight. Face weight is how much visual heaviness sits around your face and jawline. As we get older, our skin naturally softens and our face shape shifts slightly. Haircuts that add heaviness in the wrong places exaggerate that softness instead of working with it. Haircuts that remove heaviness in the right places do the exact opposite, they lift and sharpen everything instantly. Keep that idea in your mind, face weight, because it is going to make every single point on this list click into place. Number 1, the blunt, one-length bob. I know. The blunt bob is everywhere right now. Celebrities are wearing it, influencers are wearing it, and it looks incredible on a lot of people. But here is the problem nobody mentions. A completely blunt, one-length bob with no layers creates a heavy, straight line directly at the jaw. That straight horizontal line does 2 things. It draws attention straight across the lowest, often softest part of the face, and it creates a visual frame that competes with your natural bone structure instead of complementing it. The fix is simple and you do not need to give up the bob entirely. Ask your stylist for the same length, but with soft internal layering and slightly longer pieces around the front. This keeps the silhouette of the bob you love while removing that heavy horizontal weight at the jawline. Even just a few strategic layers can completely transform how the cut reads. Number 2, very long, completely straight hair past the shoulders. This one tends to upset people the most, so let me explain carefully, because it is not about long hair being inappropriate at any age. That is simply not true. The issue is specifically long, straight, one-length hair with absolutely no movement. When hair hangs flat and straight past the shoulders with no layering or texture, it pulls everything in your face downward visually. Gravity is already doing enough work on its own, we do not need our hairstyle helping it along. The good news is the fix here might be the easiest one on this entire list. You do not have to cut your hair short. You simply need movement. Soft layers starting around the cheekbone, a few face framing pieces, or even just loose waves added with a curling wand can completely change how that same length sits on you. Long hair with movement lifts. Long hair without movement drags. Number 3, the severe, slicked back style. Here is the one I promised would change how you look at people, because this is genuinely one of the most overlooked culprits. A completely slicked back style, hair pulled tightly away from the face with no softness at all, removes every bit of natural framing around your eyes and forehead. When we are younger, our skin has enough natural tautness to handle that kind of exposure. As we get older, that same severe pull can make fine lines and softness around the eyes and forehead far more noticeable, simply because there is nothing soft surrounding them to balance it out. This does not mean you can never wear your hair back. It means avoid the extremely tight, severe version of it. Instead, leave a few soft face framing pieces loose around your temples and cheekbones, even if the rest is pulled back. That small amount of softness does an enormous amount of work in keeping your whole face looking relaxed and youthful. Number 4, overprocessed, flat, single-tone color. This one is not about the cut itself, but it absolutely affects how every haircut on this list looks, so it earns its place here. A completely flat, single-tone hair color, especially one that is darker than your natural skin tone has shifted to over the years, removes all dimension from your hair. Without dimension, hair looks heavier and less alive, almost like a solid block sitting on top of your head rather than something with depth and movement. And ironically, very dark, flat color often draws more attention to changes in our skin, rather than softening them the way many women hope it will. The fix here does not require going lighter if you love your darker shade. It requires adding subtle dimension, soft lowlights and highlights a few shades apart from your base color. This creates natural-looking depth that catches the light and immediately makes hair appear thicker, healthier, and more youthful, even if the length and cut stay exactly the same. Number 5, the overly tight, uniform curl pattern. And finally, the one that genuinely surprises almost everybody. A very tight, extremely uniform curl pattern, the kind that looks identical from root to end with no variation, can unfortunately read as dated rather than current, even when the style itself is technically well done. The issue is not curls. Curls are absolutely beautiful at any age. The issue is uniformity. When every single curl is the exact same size and shape throughout, hair can look stiff and helmet-like rather than soft and natural. The fix is something called a varied curl pattern, where curls are slightly looser near the roots and slightly tighter toward the ends, or vice versa depending on your face shape. Ask your stylist specifically for a varied perm or varied curling technique rather than a uniform one. The difference in how natural and current it looks is honestly remarkable. Okay, quick pause before we wrap up. I would genuinely love to know, did any of these 5 surprise you? Drop a comment below telling me which one you did not expect. I read every single one and it helps me know exactly what to cover next. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is a great time. Just hit that button so you catch the next video the moment it goes live. Bringing it together. Now, I want to be really clear about something before we close out today. None of these 5 haircuts are forbidden. You do not need to avoid bobs, long hair, slicked back styles, dark color, or curls. What you need to avoid is the flat, heavy, uniform version of each one. Every single fix I gave you today comes down to the same underlying principle: softness and movement in the right places. A bob with light layering instead of one blunt line. Long hair with waves instead of flat straight ends. A pulled back style with a few loose pieces instead of a severe slick. Hair color with dimension instead of one flat tone. And curls with variation instead of uniform, identical spirals. That one shift, adding softness and movement exactly where it counts, is the difference between a haircut that quietly ages you and one that makes people stop and ask where you get your hair done. And here is something I want you to remember long after this video ends. The goal was never to chase youth for the sake of it. The goal is simply making sure your hairstyle reflects how vibrant and confident you actually feel inside, because so many of us are walking around with a haircut that simply has not caught up to who we have become. If you are sitting there right now realizing your current cut might fall into one of these 5 categories, that is not a bad thing, that is actually wonderful news. It means you have a simple, affordable conversation to have with your stylist, using the exact language I gave you today, and you could walk out of that salon looking noticeably more refreshed without spending a fortune or starting from scratch. So there you have it, the 5 haircuts that secretly add years after 60, and exactly how to fix every single one of them without losing the style you love. Remember, it was never really about avoiding these cuts altogether. It was about understanding face weight, and making sure softness and movement show up exactly where they matter most. If this video opened your eyes a little, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment telling me which haircut you are walking into your salon to ask about next, and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss a video like this one again. I have got so many more conversations like this planned for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You are absolutely wonderful, and I will see you in the next one.